gear?
Ice fishing, I think.
Do you fish?
I did in Orlando. I used to fish a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was on, like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't party for a couple years. I'd get tested, so I just went fishing after school.
Instead of partying?
Instead of partying.
What were you getting tested for?
Just, you know, like, your probation officer will show up at your crib or whatever.
Oh, what did you do? What did you do to get you a probation officer?
I had like a, I think we talked about this before. I had like an assault, like my second year of college. I caught an assault charge, but it was a self-defense. Self-defense.
An assault charge.
Self-defense. Self-defense. So I pled out. But no, me and my buddy Justin Foreman, like I couldn't go party, but he would come pick me up, and we just go fishing on the lakes and shit. So Orlando's got really good bass fishing.
Yeah, no, it really does. I love fishing.
So I'm way into bass fishing. Like
really, like largemouth.
Yeah, largemouth. I do the rubber worms. I do the frogs off the lily pads. I do all that shit.
Spinner baits, all that jazz. Crank baits. Yeah, little Rapala, little minnows and shit.
Yeah, mine was the watermelon seed worms that bounce off the floor.
Oh, look at you, dude. Did you ever get like one of those boats, those little bass boats with the flat bottoms and you can move around with a little trolling motor?
Yeah, so what we did was I had a canoe. At the crib, but then on the other lake we saw this onboard motor that the dude had just left on his dock. So one night we were younger, it was like high school or whatever, so we stole this dude's motor and put it on my canoe. So we were cruising with the fucking the onboard motor on my canoe.
How did you install it on a canoe? Because a canoe has a pointy end as opposed to a flat end.
I don't know, my boy Justin figured it out. I have no idea how he fucking did it.
But it doesn't make any sense.
He rigged it up to put it on the back of the shit.
But because a canoe has 2 points. There's a point in the front and a point in the back.
Yeah.
So how the hell do you get a motor back there?
He did it. I have no idea. He called it the Outlaw.
Was it a trolling motor, like a real quiet one, or was it a big, heavy, like...
It was the quiet little one you can put in the front.
Right,
that little
trolling
little
motor.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the idea of those is you want to like almost kind of go against like if the tide is pulling you one way or move along the bank. You know, you can, in freshwater, you can use them. Actually, they probably only use them in freshwater.
Only because you could creep into the lily pads with them. So we'd creep in, and there was like a drop-off on this lake on the Butler chain, and like around sundown, fish would just be right there. If you get to the drop-off, you could hit them.
I love fishing. It's so fun. There's something primal about it. There's something primal about like when you catch something and you see it. Like when you're like, oh, I got one. Yeah. And then as it's coming up, you see it in the water. Like, oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think it goes back to like ancient DNA or something.
Yeah, it's also you can feel the life on the line. Mm-hmm. You know, you can feel it. But I was a catch and release. I used to eat them, but then I started feeling bad because I was going out every day, so I let them go.
If you really feel bad, don't catch and release. Because when you catch and release, a lot of them die. That's the dirty secret about catch and release fishing.
So
it's kind of creepy because like I went salmon fishing, and this is really kind of brought home to me when I went salmon fishing. Me and Ari Shafir a couple years ago went up to Alaska, and when we were like right when we were getting up there, they had turned it into catch and release because they have like a salmon weir. Do you know what a weir is? It's like they have these sort of pathways that the salmon have to go through, and they set them up so they can accurately count how many salmon go through at any given time, so they can estimate how strong the schools are that are coming upstream and downstream, so they can estimate pretty accurately how many salmon are in the river, what the populations are, how healthy they are. So the salmon weir, there it goes right there, you can see it. They got, like, right before we were going up there, they got poor numbers. And it was kind of ironic because the day we got there, the numbers were off the fucking charts. We got there at, like, one of the best days for salmon fishing ever. But we had to let them all go. It was real weird. But we were catching a shit. You couldn't keep one of them.
They didn't even let you keep one?
No, we couldn't keep any of them. We caught a rainbow trout. I got to keep that. It was pretty rare. You don't really get too many rainbows up there. But the salmon were giant. But we were catching them all day and releasing them. But you release them, you're like, this motherfucker ain't going to make it. You know, you see some blood.
Yeah, sometimes if it gets hooked like deeper than the lip and stuff like that. But I felt all right about mine. I would get them out of the lip. But you're right. Sometimes if they swallowed the bait, I'd take it. You know,
right.
If it was in the lip, I let it go.
Well, some fish just don't taste that good either. That's the thing about largemouth bass.
Yeah, they're not delicious fish.
Yeah.
That's fucking cat food, bro.
You like catching salmon. Cat food. Salmon's a delicious fish.
Yeah.
But a largemouth bass is like, yeah, I guess I could eat this.
Yeah, saltwater fish, man, I'll keep them. If they're the right size, I'll keep them. You can freeze them, whatever. They're delicious. But freshwater fish, man,
Except for trout. Trout tastes really good.
Yeah, is that brackish water?
No, most trout are fresh water, but there are some brackish water, like steelheads, I think, that go into the ocean.
Yeah.
You know, isn't that correct? I think steelheads make it into the ocean. Or they get at least close. They definitely get into brackish water. Salmon, of course, go back and forth.
You still fish out here?
Yeah, man. I love fishing. Different places. There's for freshwater, there's Lake Castaic, which is nice. They have a lot of actual. They have striped bass, which are great. It's all freshwater. It's kind of an artificial lake. But right now they're hurting because of this drought that we've had up here for the last few years. We used to film Fear Factor up there, and especially there's this place called Tejon Ranch. This is the most shocking. There's this place called Tejon Ranch that had this beautiful lake for largemouth bass, and we used to drop people on Fear Factor out of helicopters in this lake. Now the lake is completely dry. There's nothing in the lake. It's dead, totally dry, completely flat. You could see the bottom of it, and it was a mass fish die-off. And they said there was some beautiful, huge 10-plus pound bass that just died in that lake of no air, no water, no nothing.
That's crazy. So you
up.
Could see it in the lake, it's just dead fish everywhere?
There's not. Well, now you can't because all the birds picked them off, and it's all gone because it's been like that for over a year. Yeah. But it just completely dried up. There's no water.
So when a lake dries up, it's just Thanksgiving for birds.
Yeah. Yeah, well, for a little while.
Damn.
Birds get diarrhea?
That's sad, man.
They must get diarrhea, right? They must. They probably eat anything, though. Birds can.
Yeah, they eat a lot of shit. I mean, they eat a lot of shit off my patio. I drop food, I throw it out there, man. Seagulls eat anything.
So, how you liking West Coast living, baby?
I like it.
Like it out here?
I'm into. You know what? Like,
fuck the winter.
I'm still. I'm way into living out here. I'm not into the people as much yet. I'm still like I like New York people.
You like gritty.
I like haters. You know what I mean? New York got haters.
You like haters?
Yeah, I love haters, man.
Why?
I was telling a friend, New York's got people. You do well, people in New York want to hate you. You do well in LA, people just want to work for you. And I'm like, go away, man, go away. Come on, I'd rather you hate me and criticize me, and then I know like what to work on. You know?
Interesting. Like in what way?
I'm Asian. I like criticism, man. It just reminds me of my mother.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So in what like? How so? Like when you say that New York has more haters, like when you're becoming successful in New York, you felt like just much more criticism, much more scrutiny.
Yeah, it's never like, yo, you did a great job. It's like, yo, that was all right, man. That was all right, but let me tell you what you really need to be doing. And so people will actually put you on to things and whatever. I like criticism. I like feedback.
I like it when it's valid and it's coming from people that aren't retarded.
Agreed.
That's a problem.
YouTube hate, not so much.
YouTube is the best. It's just like the most
just entertainment.
Well, here's the thing. Have you ever left a YouTube comment?
Yeah, I talk to them all the time.
Do you?
It's funny.
But have you ever left a YouTube comment on something other than your own videos?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're rare.
Yeah.
Most people,
I think it's fun.
They watch YouTube videos and they enjoy it, or they don't enjoy it. That's it. They walk away. They move on with their life. You're a rare dude in that case.
Yeah, I think for the most part, 80% of the feedback's terrible, but every once in a while, a lot of our lower thirds on the show, like the nicknames we use and shit, it's like fans